While the year was frankly lacking in the original anime department, I can't say the same about sequels. I mean, yeah, Nisekoi Season 2 and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Season 2 weren't the best. But other than that, I can safely say that sequels have stolen the spotlight this year, both in quantity and quality. So here's my list of my favorite sequels from 2015. Keep in mind that I haven't seen Owari Monogatari yet, so yeah, that's not gonna make it on the list, but it'll probably appear on some other video about 2015 I may do in the future. There are a couple exceptions to the list as well. Durarara does not count due to its three-core structure. I can't put two shows in the same spot. However, the entirety of Durarara Season 2 can qualify for the 2016 video, should it ever be made. Also, in case anyone's wondering, Take-Q won't make the list solely because, well, it's too awesome to compare to any other anime that came out this year because it's the anime of all time. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Honestly, there's not much else to say about Arigato beyond it's just more Noragami. It's just as fun as the first season, makes up for the first season's terrible ending, delves a bit deeper into the characters, has great animation courtesy of Bones, great soundtrack courtesy of Taku Iwasaki, and is overall just a really enjoyable show. I regret not putting the first season on my previous list, so consider this to be me making up for that. Definitely watch this and its first season if you're looking for a solid battle shonen experience. Well, this was a bit lower than I expected. I remember when I said this would probably be Anime of the Year in 2015 back in my 2014 video. Good times. Don't get me wrong, I still love Kuroko, but the other entries are just better in my opinion, especially Season 2. I felt that this season really suffered from pacing issues, especially in the second half, and it did get tiring to watch at points. However, the good far outweighs the bad. The characters are still as charming as ever, the climax is fantastic, the characterization and development of the Generation of Miracles flashback contains some of the best writing in the franchise, and the matches remain tense and fun to watch. It's not perfect, but Kuroko in its entirety is one of my favorite anime for a reason, and I'm really sad to see it end. That film better be an adaptation of Extra Game and not some stupid recap production IG. I'll be waiting. This show was a surprise, honestly. I really liked the first season of Gatchaman Crowds for its original take on the superhero genre, likable characters, great presentation, and perfect OST courtesy of Taku Iwasaki yet again. However, it has one major problem. It was a huge mess, and I mean huge. The first season juggled so many ideas that it's hard to keep track of them all, and therefore no idea in particular gets fleshed out. Insight, however, rectifies this in the best way possible. It manages to pick one of the many ideas floating around in the first season and sticks with it. And it made me realize how relevant what it was talking about was to today's society, and it legitimately scared the living daylights out of me. Granted, some parts did drag a bit, and it wasn't as fun or easy to watch as the first season, but it is a needed expansion upon something that was already pretty great to begin with, so I'd say it's worth giving the entire show a watch just to get to this season. Though, don't just take my word for it, make your own individual choice before you decide to watch it. Honestly, it's more JoJo. What else do you want? By this point, you've probably figured out whether you're on board with this franchise or not, and I can safely say after 75 episodes of posing and epic openings that I have boarded this ship and sailed 100 miles into hype territory. It's an anime that just knows what makes me excited with its fantastically over-the-top action, fun characters, unique style, and comedy that's always hilarious. This part was a needed improvement over Stardust Crusaders Part 1, especially because of the amazing climax. Again, if you haven't checked out JoJo yet, you probably should, even if it's just to get a feel for it. And the hype for Part 4 continues. Sometimes a show comes along that is just able to connect with you. A show that seems to understand what life can be like and offer some well-needed insight. A show that is able to contradict itself in the best way possible. That show for me is Origairu Zoku. I'm not even sure if there are enough words in the English language that can convey my true thoughts on this anime, especially in this short amount of time, but I'm going to try to give you an idea. When it comes to any form of entertainment, it can take a lot for me to become emotionally invested, and Origairu Zoku had me invested throughout its entirety. In fact, I'd say it's probably the show I felt invested in the most. Except for maybe End of Evangelion. I love how each of the main characters, and even the side characters, get additional development. I love how the art style changed to fit the mood better and create an engaging atmosphere. I love how the story isn't afraid to let loose ends be loose ends sometimes, because not every situation can be fully resolved, just like in reality. But most of all, I love this show because it understands high school life and human relationships. It's rare that a seasonal show gets better for me the more I think about it, and while critically it isn't perfect, the show managed to surpass any expectation I ever had for it, and has become my anime of the year. Well, sequel anime of the year anyway. You'll find out what my favorite non-sequel anime is next time. I'll see you then.